Hi guys, welcome to Big Laws Official. This week we're going to do something a little different. I've kind of, as you can see, emptied out my contents of my gym bag, the Team Affinity caveman bags, the training bag that I use. I've emptied everything out onto my patio table. I'm going to just show you what's in my gym bag. I've got a load of other stuff around the house that I'll probably do like a competition bag as well, perhaps. But this is kind of my standard gym stuff, just chucking in the bag and chucking in the car and getting to the gym. So I'll go through the bag first. The gym bag is really, for me, it's probably the best gym bag I've ever had, to be honest. Lucky enough for Team Affinity to do me a personalised one. You can see it's got the little Laurence Shahlaei Warrior logo on there. It's a really cool bag. He's kind of put a lot of thought into this. He's thought kind of from a strongman's perspective, really. We have at the back here a little shoe cave. So there's an area dedicated to putting shoes in. It's only going to fit 1 or 2 pairs in, but still it separates it from everything else that goes in the bag. We've got 4 of these side pockets here, good size. I fit a lot of kind of, just the little small things that you're going to use, like the liquid chalk or my straps and things like that, deep heat, that kind of thing. Perfect for different ones. One of them I tend to use for like keys and phone and wallet when I'm at the gym. But there's another 2 on the other side. I'll quickly spin it around so you can see. And then this side of the bag, we have something really cool. So he's built in a little cool area to put your meals into. So you just pop them in there. It's a good size. I can fit about 3 or 4 meals in. I put a little frozen pouch in there just to keep it nice and cool, especially in this hot weather. But once it's all sealed up, keeps it cool for ages. So a really nice little feature of the bag. Nice strong strap. This was something we did actually change. The original strap wasn't strong enough for a Loz bag, so the guys at Team Affinity, they're really cool. I spoke to them, told them what the issue was, and they replaced with a nice strong metal strap. So now, I load my bag up with a lot of stuff sometimes, and it's nice and strong. Comfortable strap as well, so when it gets heavy, it's not kind of digging into the shoulder. The bag is really cool. There's a few other little features on there. It's got a strap to attach like belts and things. There's a little hidden compartment just in the top here, and they're just constantly looking to improve it, and it just looks pretty cool as well. So I like my gym bag. I have 2 of them you can see here there's quite a lot of stuff just on the table, but I've got stuff all around the house and different types of belts and different bits of kit for different events. But this is my kind of main stuff that stays in the bag. As you can see, it's quite dirty. It's used regularly. I'll go through what we've got. So Olympic lifting shoes. For me, I use these for squatting and for overhead work, particularly push pressing. I've messed around with the flats before. The flats I tend to use more for deadlifting. I have used them for squats as well, and sometimes pressing in. But right now I'm kind of a little bit more comfortable in the Olympic shoes. So shoes, the other types of shoes I may have would be sometimes rock climbing boots, really effective for truck pulling. But the other shoes that I have are my Mayoral kind of walking shoes. You've probably seen me in them because I've been wearing the same pair, it looks like, for the last 10 years. I do buy new pairs. I've gone through many of them, but I just find them so comfortable for firstly being my size, the support they give around the foot, and they're just a great shoe for almost any event. I use them, on 90% of the stuff that I do. It's only specialised shoes that come in for certain events, so squatting, deadlifting, overhead pressing, truck pull, etc. Everything else, I just wear my other shoes, and they're just really comfortable for me. Like I said, good support. But that's the shoes. What else do we have? So for leg day, I'd have knee wraps. I haven't been using knee wraps recently, but knee wraps just tend to stay in the bag just in case I am going to go heavy on squats. Right now, competition-wise, I don't have any heavy squats or squats coming up in competition, so I tend not to train squats too hard when I don't need to. I'm quite lucky that my legs stay strong, but they stay in the bag anyway. I also have some ankle supports. These are quite effective if you do have any issues with your ankles. Right now, I'm not using these either, but they just stay at the bottom of the bag. Really effective if you do need that support in the lower body, particularly for heavy events like yokes and heavy carries and stuff where you're moving, they can be quite useful, particularly if you pick up any sort of niggles in the foot area. Right, stuff that gets used a little bit more regularly. So today I've only got my single prong buckle belt in. This is my go-to belt. This is the belt I can fly anywhere, and I take it anywhere with me. I do have a lever belt as well, which is effective. Really good for squatting, good for events that don't involve any bending over. But obviously sometimes taking two belts with you can get a bit much, especially the size of them. So this is the belt, if I was restricted in terms of how much luggage I could take with me if I was going abroad, this would be the one I'd go to, because I can use it for everything. And if you're looking at only investing in one belt, this would be the one I would get, the single prong. I think this is the 10 mil actually, the thickness. You can get 13 mil as well. I prefer the slightly thinner one. It just gives a bit more flexibility, but still great support. Cerberus Belts, you know, I've been using this one for 2 years now, and I absolutely love it. It's my favourite belt. It's comfortable, supportive, and it's the belt that comes everywhere with me. Like I said, I do have other ones for certain events, but this is my go-to, and this is why it stays in the bag. Quickly roll it up. You may have seen this before if you've ever watched me going crazy before a deadlift. This is my stick, massage stick. Again, really useful for travelling with, fits into the bag nice and easy. This is just perfect for kind of warming up the muscles. You just kind of roll it on you. When I'm training people, I might use it to beat them if they're not listening. But it's just good kind of before and during training. You can massage anywhere, take it with you. If you're going away for a competition, you've got to stay in a hotel. It's good to just kind of sit there, just making sure the muscles are kind of recovered from that kind of long flight, and sitting in an aeroplane chair is not ideal for comp preps. You want to try and make sure you're moving as much as possible, get the muscles kind of active as possible. And this is just something easy to take with me. Stays in the bag, used quite regularly. Really good if you've got like any tight spots in the back or anything like that. Next up, the very well used sweaty knee sleeves. Also act as shin protectors for me when I'm deadlifting. So instead of just pulling them up over the knees, I keep them on the shins. People often ask what's on my shins when I'm deadlifting. It's just these, not pulled up. But for many strongman events, you want that kind of warmth and support around the knees. So all my moving events, push pressing, squatting, you tend to find me wearing these. I prefer these ones to the black ones. I use the black ones for my elbows. So the elbow sleeves, I don't like quite as much thickness around the arms. So these ones are a little bit thinner. But essentially the same things, the elbow sleeves and the knee sleeves. Mark Bell Slingshot, useful for pressing days. Right now I'm doing a bit of slingshot bench as an assistance to my overhead pressing. So this just stays in the bottom of the bag, ready for Tuesday, which is my pressing day. My wrist straps, again Cerberus Elite wrist straps. Very, very supportive these. You just really feel like your wrists are completely locked in. Perfect again for like log, axle, any kind of pressing movement, bench press obviously, really effective. And they stay in my bag. I have other pairs as well, but like I said, these are the ones that I use on a regular basis. So they stay in the bag. Velcro's still strong on them, been using them for a long time, and you know, you can see it's still holding strong. You can see it's a little bit flared on the side, frayed on the side where they've just been used a lot, but the Velcro's still kind of grabbing nice and strong, which is something I've found in the past with certain brands. Their Velcro isn't always the best. So I like these ones, and just the support they give is unmatched really to any that I've used. I have a band. I normally got to have a lighter band than this one in the bag as well. Today I'll have to go and find where it is. I'm genuinely just showing you what's in my bag today. I was so lazy. I kind of just got my my bag out of the car and just chucked everything on the table so you can see what's in there on a regular basis. But a band really useful for warming up with. Do occasionally use bands in certain lifts, but this one's more of a warm-up band. And again, I take it away if I'm travelling a lot. It's something I can use to help me stretch and just kind of stay supple. When you're in like a hotel room, I do travel quite a bit for various different events and sponsors work and stuff like that. So you often find me doing a lot of mobility and foam rolling in a hotel room. Lacrosse ball, same thing, you know, just getting it stuck into the muscles. Another recovery tool, just stays in one of the side pockets of the bag, which fits in nice and easy. These are something new. My next competition has bar bending in, so these are just little hand protectors, really, just kind of leather straps that you wrap around the bar to then practice the bar bending. So they're just staying in the bag for when I'm training that. Probably don't need those in your gym bag on a regular basis. My new age gum shield, something I'm kind of playing around with. I'm not sure if I like them or not yet. I'm trying to get used to it. Loads of people like using them. I'm trying to kind of see if it helps at all. At the moment, I'm kind of at the in-between stage. It certainly doesn't do anything negative. I think some people get like a placebo effect. Other people seem to think it really helps. So just that kind of like biting down onto the gum shield. But yeah, it's not bad. I struggle with kind of things in my mouth. It probably sounds a bit weird, but I'm getting used to it, learning to breathe with it in, and yeah, it's not too bad. I'm just not absolutely sold on it yet, on whether it's kind of worth investing into in terms of helping progress further. But some people I know really rave about them. Next up, my very well used wrist straps. These are my favourite wrist straps I've ever used, Cerberus wrist straps. What's great about these, they're very strong, firstly, which you need for wrist straps, but they don't leave horrible marks on your forearms, they're on your wrists. Many times I've kind of done deadlifts and heavy kind of rack pulls and strongman events where I needed to use wrist straps, and you end up going away looking like you've had handcuffs on and coming home and the missus is wondering what you've been up to. These ones, they don't leave any marks, much more comfortable on the wrists, and I've had these, you know, holding well over 400 kilos on numerous occasions, and they haven't even begun to kind of go, whereas a lot of them, you see, they start to kind of fray a bit and rip. These are still holding strong. I've used them in many competitions, many training sessions. Still the first pair that I've used, and you know, I'm lucky enough to be sponsored by Cerberus. They'd send me a new pair if I needed them, no problem, but it's still the first pair I've used for nearly 2 years now, so it just shows how good these are. Chuck them in there. Got some tacky. I haven't even opened it yet, but for stone training, just obviously, you know, when you're training out with stones, tacky's important, so that stays in the bag. I've used lots of different brands of tacky. They all do the same thing, especially in training. I don't worry too much in training with tacky. It's just making sure you've got something to help you stick to the stones in competition. I would say that my favourite is the Dave Osland Elite Tacky. His stuff's really good, especially the hot weather stuff. In, you know, the temperatures we've been having recently, and you go abroad and compete in hot weather, I find it's the most effective. And they don't sponsor me, so there you go. That's kind of, you know, honesty for you. Got a Cerberus elbow cuff. I have knee cuffs as well, so these are really useful if you ever get any kind of tendonitis or any kind of inflammation around the knees. They just create some kind of pressure. Same with the elbow. If you suffer with tennis elbow or anything like that, they're really useful. I often wear these on anything that involves leg movement, even push pressing. Sometimes you can feel your knees taking a bit of a beating from push pressing, so I tend to wear them on there just for protection purposes and making sure that my body is effective. In my gym I tend to keep liquid chalk. We have normal chalk at the gym, so I don't really take much normal chalk with me. Sometimes for competition I will do, but the liquid chalk, just you put it on once and then it's kind of there, so it works pretty well. Dries your hands out, especially in hot weather. It's quite useful because it stops the kind of sweatiness, and that just stays in one of the side pockets. Another massage ball, which is the Rogue ball. This one's really quite nice. Well, I say nice, it's painful, but it kind of grabs the fascia, so when you can like twist it, you can see it's grabbing the skin and helps release that kind of pressure that you get from tight areas. Really good. The fact that it's a little bit bigger as well, I prefer this to the lacrosse ball. The lacrosse ball on someone my size, you kind of get it into your chest or into your back and or your glutes, and it just kind of sinks in and doesn't do anything, whereas this, you really feel it. So if you're a little bit bigger, I would choose one of these over maybe like a lacrosse ball. What else do we have in the bag? So side pocket, deep heat, deep freeze. Don't know if it does much, it's just in the bag. sometimes on a cold day a bit of deep heat helps. I'm not a big user of deep heat and rubs and stuff like that, but if you get injured and there's nothing, you know, you've got no ice or anything like that, deep freeze is going to be better than nothing. What else have we got in here? I have a table tennis ball. I did a seminar recently, and a nice young lad that came to the seminar was a table tennis fan. He knew that I used to play table tennis, and he gave me a ball signed by Vladimir Samsonov, who used to be one of the best players in the world. So that was nice, but if any of you know who Samsonov is, that would be quite funny. But yeah, very good player, and for some reason it's still in the gym bag. It's hot weather at the moment, so I've got some sun cream. I'm a bit rubbish for using it. I'm quite lucky that my skin doesn't really burn too much. Talcum powder for deadlifts, just to help reduce the friction on the legs when you're deadlifting. My Hypervice roller. This is an awesome bit of kit and used every day in my mobility routine. It vibrates. It looks dodgy and I get some funny looks when I'm using it, but it is actually really, really good. Just those extra vibrations, they just kind of really help when you're trying to loosen up a certain muscle. And I use it every day as part of my rolling routine. And that's it. That's it. Oh, I've got some heartburn tablets in there as well. Sometimes you get a bit of indigestion. Eating as much as a strongman does, so they stay in there just in case I feel a bit rubbish. But yeah, that's everything that's in my bag today. I'm going to do a competition bag as well. So my next competition is the UK Strongest Man. I've got 13 events to prepare for that. And I'll go through maybe some of the snacks that I put into a bag on the day for competition. We'll have a look at why I'm taking certain bits of kit for certain events, but today was just about what's in my general gym bag. Let me know what's in your gym bag, you know, see if there's anything different, see if you think I'm missing out on certain things. Like I said, I do have other stuff around the house, and if I feel like I need it, some of the stuff in the boot of the car, you get to the point when you've been competing and training as long as I have, you've picked up a lot of stuff over the years, and I have boxes of stuff just lying around. Can't always fit everything into one place. But yeah, that's everything. The other few things that I'd have on a general day-to-day basis is the things I take to the gym. So I'll take for me right now, staying hydrated is a big key, especially with the hot weather we've been having. So I tend to have a bottle of water that has just salt in there, just to help, just to keep me hydrated. I'll have a shaker with branched chain amino acids in, just to sit through as I train. Also, if I feel like I need it, I'll have a pre-workout before training, and then just lots of water. I tend to have, you know, I'm trying to get between 6 and 10 litres of water in a day at the moment, particularly with how hot it's been recently. Staying hydrated is massively important, so just during training I'm constantly sipping, and during the day just trying to get fluid in me. So that's something I take. Post-workout shake, so I'll look at taking a post-workout shake for after training. What else will I take? Pretty much it. Sometimes, like on an event session, I'll take a little bit more food with me. Normally something like a banana. Sometimes if it's like a weekend and it's like a longer event session, I might take some Haribo or Flapjack just to kind of keep my energy levels up. I don't like sitting at the gym halfway through training just kind of eating a meal, but I have been known to do that before, particularly on a longer session. But today is just a quick look at what's in my bag. Any questions about what you think you guys need in your bag, or if you feel you kind of, you know, you'd like to ask me a question, please comment below and I'll get back to you. Or you can likewise kind of message me on Instagram or Facebook. Yeah, but any questions, feel free to ask. We will do the competition bag, but I hope that's interesting for a lot of you, and we will see you next time.